In this video we're going to flip some of the sentences that you see in Visual Latin in the first lesson. Instead of going from Latin to English, we're going to flip them and go from English to Latin. Let's take a look. If we had the sentence, Natalie is in Italy, this is in English, we're going to go into Latin. The first thing we would do, the first thing I would have my students do, is underline the subject. Always underline the subject one time, and I'll write subject above it, or S above it for subject, and in underneath for nominative. We'll explain that later, that'll come up later. For now, don't worry about the N if you are confused by that. But underline the subject once, and you have the S above it, identifying it as the subject. Identify the verb. The verb in this sentence is the word is. Is a state of being verb in this case. I have my students write SBV above it, state of being verb. If you can replace the state of being verb with the word exists, it's a state of being verb. If you cannot replace it with the word exists, it's probably a helping verb or a linking verb. And we'll talk more about this in future episodes. So we now have Natalie is, and then we have this word here, in, which is a preposition, and Italy is the object of the preposition, and this entire thing here is a prepositional phrase. So we've now done something that I call parsing the sentence. Actually, other teachers call it that too. You'll hear that from time to time. This is called parsing the sentence, and this is where you identify everything in the sentence. And we've identified each and every word here. Natalie is in Italy. You have the subject, we have a verb, and we have a prepositional phrase. So now what do? Well, the next thing I have my students do is diagram the sentence that they've been working with. So we have the basic diagram form here. You have the subject side over here and the verb side over here. You've seen this before probably in grammar class. On this side we're going to put Natalie because she's the subject. So we put it right above the subject here, Natalie. And then on the predicate side, or the verb side, we'll write the verb, is. Natalie is. Where is Natalie? She's in Italy. This is a prepositional phrase. The preposition goes on the slanted line, and the object of the preposition goes on the horizontal line. Natalie is in Italy. The last thing I have my students do is now translate this sentence that they've parsed and they've diagrammed. I have them translate it finally into Latin. So this sentence would be, Natalie est in Italia. Natalie est in Italia. And honestly, we would probably move the verb est to the end of the sentence. That's the way Roman word order preferred it. Natalie in Italia est. But for sake of instruction, we'll leave it alone here today, leave it in English word order, and we have Natalie est in Italia. Thanks.